If you want to hear a crazy stat comparing GTA 5 to GTA 6, according to this website, GTA 5 only had about 60 random world events. GTA 6, on the other hand, over 1,000. Now, I don't want to hyperbolize this game, but come on, GTA 6 sounds like it's literally going to be the biggest game of all time. In today's video, we're actually going through a bunch of these leaked world events. Now, because there are so many of them, there are over 1,300. I believe the actual number is 1,367. Over the next few days, I'm going to be making a couple of videos breaking down some of these world events. Today, we're going to go over more general world events and just sort of explain a little bit about what they are, how they're going to work, and comparing them to GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. But there's some other really interesting ones that were in these leaked videos, like Lucia and Jason romance events. That's kind of cool. And that's something totally new for a GTA game, for Rockstar in general. There's a bunch of just crazy NPC events, which I wanted to make a separate video on. There is, of course, the mysteries, the UFOs, Bigfoot, all of those type of events. A bunch of those found, so I'll make a separate video on that as well. But in today's video, I just wanted to keep it simple. We're going to keep it to just some of the more interesting ones that I came across, but also what exactly they are and how they're going to work. Now, as always, I feel like a broken record saying this. These are from the leaked videos, came out like a couple months ago. In those leaked videos, there were a couple of developer screens, and a couple of these clips had world events, and they did go up to like 1,300 events. And that's where all of this information is coming from. Now, I will just point out that, of course, the leaked footage is from like the alpha or beta version of the game. And as we all know with Rockstar, they do like to cut content. So even though there were like 1,300 or so events in the footage, it is possible some of them get cut. But even if like 50% of them get cut, that's even more than, of course, GTA 5, like we pointed out, and Red Dead Redemption 2. So there's going to be a ton of these world events regardless of what ends up happening. Now, what these world events are, these are the random encounters that you happen upon in Red Dead Redemption 2, in GTA 5. I guess there's some in GTA Online. The blue dots that you find on the minimap, like in GTA 5, you have the armored truck. That is considered a world event, a random encounter. It'll pop up. There's a couple of other ones. As we saw, though, there's not a whole lot in GTA 5. Matter of fact, here is the wiki page. The wiki page only has about 30. So I don't know how the other website got 60, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Even if there were 60, that's still so tiny compared to what we're going to be taking a look at. But if you are wanting to compare this also to Red Dead Redemption 2, there's quite a considerable more in RDR2, as we'll just scroll through them. And if you've played the game, you know there's so many little things, like the NPCs just pop up out of nowhere. There's one guy, he's just brewing drugs in the middle of the woods and you have to go give him stuff. Of course, there's the one fella that's looking for his friend, just yelling his name. There's a bunch of world events, a bunch of little random encounters in RDR2, but GTA 6, it looks like, is going to be even crazier. Now, if you're wondering, a list of all of the GTA 6 events that were found from the leaked footage, I'll leave a link to this Google Doc page in the description. This has all of them. I'll just sort of scroll through it here. Again, the way these are going to work is you're going to find them much like RDR2. You're just riding around or driving around. And then, you know, if the requirements of a specific event has been met, it will trigger. So for instance, like a lot of these events, they might be super rare to actually trigger. Like you might actually have to do something at a specific time of day, or you might have to do something at a specific time of weather. A lot of the stuff like the UFOs, all the strange mystery stuff, things like that might not happen very often. So even though there are about, 1,300 of these, you might not see them all the time. So like you're not going to get overwhelmed with them. Also, I wanted to point out, someone went through the leaked footage and there was a couple of terms that were mentioned. One was a permanent event launcher. And out of these 1,300, only 462 events were shown. So those, the permanent event launcher, that's the ones that are going to happen sort of most of the time. the ones that'll show up on your minimap, the ones that'll have the little blip on your minimap. There was also another filter that was ambient event launcher, and only 906 events were shown. So that's stuff that's just happening in the world that's not really dependent on you. So when you think of GTA 5, like, you know, hikers hiking up Mount Chiliad, I think there's one where the motorcycle crew leaves one of the buildings or one of the bars, and you can, you know, interact with them. So I guess that 1,300 number, I mean, it's maybe kind of clickbaity. They're all there, but there's not like 1,300 events that are going to be spawning everywhere on the map all at once. So with all that out the way, let's actually hop into what some of these events are going to be. Now, there are 1,300. We're not going through all of them. Like I said, there's going to be a couple of videos over the next couple of days. We'll go through more specific ones. But these were some of the ones that I thought were very, very cool and very interesting. We'll just go 10 at a time. And these first 10, these are some of the cooler ones. A shark cage. That's a world event. There's going to be sharks. There's going to be a cage that you can go into maybe, or maybe it's NPCs. We don't specifically know the nature of some of these, but there's going to be a little blip out in the ocean where a shark cage is. And maybe it breaks. Maybe a shark attacks you. Maybe a shark attacks NPCs. I don't know. Of course, it's Rockstar. There's going to be some funniness to it all. But yeah, that's cool. Another one, the toxic floating trash island. I think that's somewhat of a real thing, which is kind of sad, but that might be something you just see around the ocean. A toxic floating trash island. It's a trash island. Maybe if you go to it, you start losing health. Yeah, that's cool. Prison hitchhiker. Like, that's a pretty obvious one. I think there's usually always a hitchhiker in some sort of GTA games. But yeah, that's going to be something to give you an idea of what to expect just driving around. If you're near the prison, you probably will see this hitchhiker. The third one, music video. Like, what the heck does that mean? Does that mean we could make a music video? Does that mean we'll be helping out in making a music video? Or are we just maybe watching NPCs make a music video? That one's pretty interesting. And if any of these are interesting to you, let us know your thoughts and your take on them. But that one is definitely one of the more interesting ones. The fourth one, a zorbing accident. I had no idea what zorbing even was. Here's a picture. It's like you inside the ball. I will just say maybe this might be one of the things that get cut. But if this is in the game, come on. That is insane. We can get into a freaking ball and get pushed around maybe by cars. Although I don't want to get expectations too high. That could just be an NPC you see in a little ball and he gets in an accident. But that sort of ties in with the concussion event. So there was an event called just concussion. This maybe means there's sort of an expanded injury system. I believe that was kind of in Red Dead Redemption 2. So like when you're melee fighting, maybe you can get a concussion, which affects you in certain ways. Some of the more interesting ones, there's a voice in the storm drain. So I'm sure that'll be cool. Maybe you can go down there and help whoever's down there. A rabid dog location. So again, you're going to be seeing some animal stuff. You got to look out for that. Fairyland forest puzzle. We know there's going to be a pretty big forest in the game to the north of the map. So I guess there's going to be some sort of mini game puzzle-esque thing. Abandoned hovercraft. We actually got to see the hovercraft in some of the leaked footage with Jason. And I guess there's going to be an abandoned one somewhere out maybe in the Everglades or something. And then the final one for this slide, escape time traffic. I wanted to include this one because maybe there might actually be more traffic at certain times of the day. And I don't know, that you have to escape it in some manner. Continuing though, we have drug lab stuff. So this is something that's kind of cool. There's a drug lab trailer park. There's also a drug lab trailer small. And then there's also a drug lab apartment. So that's either us doing some drug stuff, which is pretty cool, or it's NPCs that you can see doing drug stuff. These next couple of ones are just, I guess, NPC related events. So you have a double cross bike accident, swamp tour crash. That'll be cool and funny to see, I'm sure. The swamp tour, when it crashes, there'll be snakes and alligators and stuff attacking the NPCs. Of course, in Rockstar's funny way. Overturned trucks you're going to be seeing, overly packed vehicles and them crashing, stuck vehicles in the swamp you'll see, sunken airboats. That'll be cool. I don't know what the next, carjacking cat. Is there a cat that's carjacking stuff? I don't know. And there's another one, carjacking advanced AI. I wanted to throw those in here just to give you guys an idea of, again, what you're going to be seeing in this game as far as like NPCs and stuff go. It just sounds like there's going to be so much more extra stuff compared to GTA 5. I mean, if you go in GTA 5, You're just driving around. It's pretty basic as far as like what the NPCs do. You rarely see like crashes. You rarely see specific things happening. And I think Rockstar's changing that with all of these events. There's more stuff. So there's these dealership repo events. So there's one at the gym. There's one at the luxury good place. I guess there's one at Ocean Beach. These are all at 3 a.m. for some reason. That'll either be something that we can do. Maybe that's like a side job. We're a repo man. Or that is just something you see NPCs doing at 3 a.m. They're stealing cars. There's also a dealership theft. So maybe some Simeon-esque events. You steal certain cars from other dealerships. These next 6 are very interesting because it indicates there's going to be a lot of interiors you can go into. And I guess there's going to be some events that happen if you're broke going into these interiors, like the quick shop, the supermarket, the liquor store. But you can also get banned from these different interior locations as well. You can get banned from the supermarket, banned from the quick shop, banned from the liquor store. How does that affect the game? I don't know, but that'll be interesting. Maybe if you're banned and you go in, the cops get called on you. But yeah, it seems like there's going to be some sort of evolving world. And that's something we'll definitely touch on here in one of these next couple of pictures. But the last one, firework fight. That is awesome. If we can take fireworks and fight each other and fight NPCs, I'm all for that. I hope that is something we can do and it's not just like you see a bunch of NPCs fighting with fireworks. But yeah, that is going to be something that is just awesome to see. We have a bunch of other ones though, hunting shelters. So just confirms hunting is going to be in the game. There's probably going to be hunting shelters across the map, different areas. You can get injured. There's one hunting accident, both injured. So if you're obviously playing as like Lucy or Jason, both of you guys get injured somehow, and that's an event. Now these next 3, the overdose, those of course are something, or that's something that is pretty obvious in a GTA game. You can get drunk, obviously in GTA 5 or GTA Online, you can get like high to an extent. I guess they're adding an overdose feature where either it says you're sleeping, you're outside of your car, a horn. I'm not entirely sure how those exactly work, but yeah, there'll be some sort of overdose mechanic, it appears. Now, as far as the ever-evolving world, these next, the last couple of ones here, these sound kind of interesting. So, sculpted shrubbery. I wonder if it's an event, that means it's not static. That means it's probably something that's going to be happening over time. So you might end up seeing different places with different shrubbery, different sculpted shrubbery across the map. On the beaches specifically, it sounds like there's going to be a dynamic beach. There's sand art. There was a couple of these. There was sand art 1, sand art 2, sand art 3, sand art 4, I think 5 as well. So there's a bunch of these sand art events. There was a sand car event. I don't know what that could be, but okay. Sand pyramids. There was a sand sphinx. So much like sand castles, you might be seeing a bunch of these sand structures on the beach at certain times. And I'm sure, like you can do with a lot of stuff, you could probably run it over in a car and destroy it, which maybe adds to the event. But yeah, there's going to be a sort of a dynamic beach, it sounds like, from all of these sand events. This next batch is sort of NPC related. This one maybe is a little bit more speculative, but there's a Shanice chat, annoying Vicky, watching Vicky. All of those probably just mean there's going to be more interactions between us, the player, and the characters. I think that was a big part of Red Dead Redemption 2, where you could talk to the people in your crew. So this will probably be something similar. Also, as far as like your crew, there's these events with Lucia's friends. You could hang out. You can do a small favor for her friends. You can do there's a welcome party for Lucia's friends. There's also a meet at house for her friends. So they're probably taking a lot of the Red Dead Redemption 2 camp aspects and then putting it into this game. And then these last couple of ones, these are the non-interactive events. So these are the ones that don't necessarily have to do with you, the character. These are some that just are going to happen. That's what NIE stands for, non-interactive event. And the 4 we're seeing here are probably poses that various NPCs can do for like Snap-O-Matic. So you can see regular chair sit, female. Elaborate beach chair, female chill. Elaborate beach chair, male suave. Regular ground butt selfie, male. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of different things you see the NPCs doing, so that's going to be pretty fun. And then the final slide, the final batch of events we're going to be talking about are more of these non-interactive events. I mean, you can see the first one, non-interactive event, influencer pose for photo. So it's probably some of the stuff we just talked about. There's one called the LO racetrack. So that's probably an event where there's racing going on. I mean, that's one of the things that was missing in GTA 5. You always had like the horse track, but I don't think you ever really got to see anything go on there. Well, it looks like in GTA 6, you will be able to watch the races. I'm sure that'll happen maybe only a specific time of day, a specific day of the week. But yeah, that'll be cool. Another one, Drunk Smash PGH Fruit Stand. PGH is Port Gellhorn, presumably, which is the other like sort of major-esque city in the game apart from Vice City. And it looks like there's going to be drunk people smashing into fruit stands over there. So again, just gives you an idea of some of the smaller things that are going to be happening in this game. The next couple of ones, there's definitely going to be animals and events with them. We never got to see a whole bunch of these in GTA 5. Of course, in Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a bunch because that was more of a nature game. But yeah, you're going to be seeing alligators ambushing boars. There's strange animal deaths, snakes, and strange animal deaths, deer. So I wonder, how those happened. There's just definitely going to be a lot more animal-related stuff in this game, which is awesome. The next one, NIE donut burnouts. So you probably will be seeing some NPCs across the map, maybe at nighttime, just doing donuts in the middle of the street. That's like a real-life thing. So they're going to have it in the game. Again, PGH, Beach Bonfire Peninsula. That's Port Gellhorn. I'm sure there's a beach up there. You'll see a giant bonfire, presumably at night as well. And then the last two, we have Lean In Window Drug Deal, mail. So you'll, again, presumably be seeing NPCs leaning in windows across the map, doing drug deals. And then the last one, a multi-truck hangout at Port Gellhorn. So more NPCs just doing stuff around the map. Now that was by itself, that was over 60. So those are more than the ones we got in GTA 5. That's more than we got in GTA 5. That's crazy. And there are 1,300 of these. So I really don't think it's that crazy to think that GTA 6 will be the best game or the biggest game of all time. I don't know about best because that's something that's subjective, but biggest, I think it's going to be up there. Although I will just sort of end this video by saying it probably isn't too smart to keep increasing the hype. I mean, the expectations of this game are just getting higher and higher as we go. So it probably is smarter to reel those expectations in. But I will just say, I mean, if there was any gaming developer to exceed the expectations or to have the game live up to those expectations that a lot of us have put on it, it's definitely Rockstar. And from all the leaked footage, all the leaked content we've gotten over the last couple of months, I mean, it's looking like this game is going to be just a banger. So I'm excited. And if you were excited and wanted to hear more about these events, again, be on the lookout for more of these GTA 6 videos over the next couple of days, because we only got to see 60 of these events. There's way more. And I want to go in depth on a lot of them. So be on the lookout for that. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please drop it a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA content. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.